Hey there everybody, it's Jenny McGarvey and I am back with you today to share a memory planner layout using the Heidi Swapp storyline chapters, some photos that I already printed on my Epson PictureMate. But first, let's flip through this edition. This is June, July, August, and then it will also be September too. I have a few leftover weeks, and this is one of those weeks. This is the end of September, and I am using the new Pinkfresh collections, Spring Vibes, and a little bit of Chrysanthemum. And I'm using the pink and green color palette, and I'm really excited about it. Now, I recently just picked up this pink paper trimmer from A Cherry on Top, and first of all, I'm not going to lie, I was totally drawn in by the pink color because I was excited about a pink paper trimmer. But I also wanted to go back and try a rotary paper trimmer again. You know, in the spring I gave, or last fall, my memory, it was last fall, the guillotine trimmer, which was also very interesting. I'm just kind of trying all the things. It's been so long since I've tried some of these supplies, and so I thought, what better way to try a rotary trimmer than with this beautiful pink color. I will link it up below in case you too are interested in it. It cuts absolutely beautifully, but like I said, hadn't used a rotary trimmer in a very long time. And the one that I was using had a really big base. It was like a big heavy Fiskars rotary trimmer, and it was great, but it was enormous. So this one seems to be marrying both worlds. So I have cut apart my photos. I have a ton of them for this week. And so I am going to be laying those out in this configuration. And I'm really excited to get started because this is a catching up process. I have about 9 weeks in 2022 that I need to complete, including these 2 from August. I'm not sure how these got left out. I suppose if I went back and looked at my planner, I could probably figure it out. But nonetheless, it's exciting to revisit these weeks. It's a nice walk down memory lane. It's one of the reasons why I'm never upset about being behind, because I enjoy the look back. And I also love knowing that there's plenty of things for me to memory keep going forward. Like, I'm not going to run out of memories to document. So as you can see, I have a lot of photos for this week, and several days have multiple photos, and that is slightly difficult, but we will tackle that as it comes. I'm adding the dates using my favorite Carpe Diem sticker book. They're just so easy to use, and there are a wide variety of colors. Now, I switched that photo of my dog because it did not matter what day of the week. The view is always the same. She always looks the same laying there in her bed, so I decided to switch that up a little bit. Same thing with the skeleton air plant on my kitchen island. It didn't really matter. It didn't have to be taken on Saturday. I mean, it was taken on Saturday, but it didn't make any difference if I put it on Friday or Saturday. It wasn't specific to Saturday, so I switched it. Those are the types of things that I'm talking about that I like to do in my memory planner when I'm faced with situations like this. I try to keep it on the days that they happen if it's important to the story and if it makes a difference. But if it doesn't, let's switch it up. Now you can see I used a paper punch for that little photo. I just love the unexpected pop that having, say, for example, a circle photo brings on a layout. You're really expecting just to see all rectangular photos, excuse me. That's the norm, right? That's how we print them. That's how we're sort of designed to think about them, because that's how they come. But adding that little unexpected shift is really, really fun, and it definitely takes your eye by surprise in looking at the layout of the week. So it's definitely very enjoyable. I really like it a lot. So now we're going to start adding the decor, and I've pulled out the cardstock stickers, the die cuts, and then these title die cuts as well. And I love these collections. At first I was like, yeah, they're cute. And then after working with them, I love them even more. So they're really versatile. And the thing I want to say about that is that I have 3 sons. I document 3 sons. I mean, I also document myself and our data life, obviously, but I don't think that it's a big problem having flowers and pink and those types of things. I think so. If you're liking this collection, I just don't feel like it has to be overly feminine. So you can see I use that tag as the background, I use the floral as the anchor, and then I'm using that anything as possible word strip as the accent. And I absolutely love how that cluster came together. I think it's so pretty. And then I love how that word strip absolutely draws your eye across the page as well. It doesn't just concentrate it right in that inside corner, which I put there because obviously I don't have any photos there. And so it was going to take up some of that white space. Now I'm going through some of these other die cuts because I do love the tags and the boxes and the labels and all of those things for the background elements because I think that they add that little bit of decoration, but they are not competing for attention. So for example, like if I had 2 floral clusters together, it can be difficult. It absolutely can be done, but it's mostly fairly difficult to blend those together in one cluster. So that's why a box or something like that you're seeing at the top works really well. So now I'm using that pink box from Chrysanthemum and I'm having it overlap the top of the page because I want it to sit flush with the edge. And I'm having the little floral element hang off because that will get cut off. And then I'm going to add the cute little flower up there. So you can see I'm adding the adhesive so I can get that all up there. And then I'm going to put just that itty bitty little label and then the flower on top. I wanted this one to be really simple because I love the big one down at the bottom. I think I've made that abundantly clear. And I wanted that to be more of a focal point than this other point. Now, in case you hadn't picked up already, we're creating the visual triangle at this point. So you can see we have the 2 points of the triangle or the fulcrums. And then now we're going to add the 3rd one. So I'm just looking for elements for so there's the background. And then we're going to come and find the anchor and the accent. And so there are so many beautiful florals. I absolutely love these. I didn't realize when I purchased them or when I saw them online how much I was going to like them until I got them home and I was looking at them and I was like, wow, these are gorgeous. I absolutely love them. And I was thrilled that I picked them up. Okay, so now we have the anchor as well. So we have the background and we have the anchor and we just need a little accent to make that cluster complete. Now, one of the things when I am behind, as I am this week, I am often trying to think of ways to, I don't want to say speed up the process, but maybe not spend quite as much time on a further past week. I'll say like beyond like a month ago or something like that. There's a couple of different reasons for this. One, I do want to work on getting a little bit closer to being caught up. So having like 9 or 10 weeks in my memory planner, which I did at this point when I was working on this layout, that's a lot. That's a couple of months of memory planner layouts to be behind. So that's a lot. So I do want to get this complete. 2, the memories, it's not quite as fresh as it is like right when it happens, right? So I find that I am not as attached to it as I was within the month that it happened. So say that it's January 15th and something happened the last week in December. It's still really fresh. It's still right there. And so building on to it really still, it feels very valid for me in my memory planning process. So some of these catch-up weeks end up being a lot more simple because they were catch-up weeks. I just don't feel as emotionally attached to it as I did closer to it happening. So that's why I definitely like to try to keep current in all ways possible. I find that I'm happier with the pages. So it's just another thing for me and a good reminder to put my memory planner towards the front burner and make sure that I keep up with this because I love this project so much. Now I am adding the activities and appointments throughout the week. This is something that I do, not many people do. I just like having that. It sort of explains in a lot of times things that are going on throughout the week. So for example, there's a kind of a silly photo of my son up at the top. He had his wisdom teeth pulled, and that's a selfie he took of himself after having his wisdom teeth taken out. And so notating that he had his wisdom teeth out, like that appointment, it makes a whole lot of sense paired with that photo. So a lot of times that's why I'll do that. So you'll have a photo of a baseball game and then the time and the opponent, and off in case if they win or lose, tied to a photo. And I just really like that for documentation's sake, but absolutely everybody usually does what is most comfortable for them. So that works really well. So now I am just adding some little snippets of journaling here. Today I'm using a pencil for my lines. You know, I often use a mild liner, and I absolutely love the mild liner, and I will continue to use the mild liner. That won't stop. This week I just wanted to use the pencil. I didn't want the competing lines, and I felt like this would fit the overall feeling of this layout, which feels a little slightly more delicate than usual. And so I'm adding that, and then I'm using a micron pen, which I'm not sure I've ever used before, and I really do like it. I had wanted a thicker tip one, but I am finding that I really do kind of like this 0.5, and it's a good one. And I did read that they're waterproof as well, so that could be nice for a lot of different projects because the ink is not going to run. So I'll definitely have to try that in my planner where I use the highlighter on top of it. So, side note, in case you're looking for a pen to try. I don't know that it works. I'm just saying that's what it said. Okay, so now I'm going to add even more journaling up here at the top. Again, I'm trying out this new We Are Memory Keepers magnetic mat. It's got a nice heavy magnetic presence, and it's nice to use. I don't know if it'll beat out my old standard 10-year-old self-healing mat or not that I literally have been using forever and ever and ever. It just works really well for me. I don't know if it will or not. We'll see. I still feel drawn to my old one, but I love the size of this one, and so that also kind of says to me, maybe I should be getting a smaller one. I just don't know. I just don't know. We'll see. All right, so I wanted to add a little bit more decoration now that I have added all of my journaling. It just made sense to fill in some of these white areas. I don't love a ton of white space anymore, but like I said at the beginning, it's a little bit harder for me to feel connected to these pages when I'm further out. So I end up with a little bit more blank space than I ordinarily would because of that. There are so many beautiful colors in these collections too. Just they feel really springy and fun, and even though this is a late summer layout, I still love the bright, cheerful florals for this. There was just so much going on this week, and these feel very complimentary because of it. Like, obviously the flowers have absolutely nothing to do with my layout because there actually is some florals pictured, but they don't have any, this layout doesn't have anything to do with that, but it just is a very good companion. So I do go thematic in October and in December, and then sometimes for other holidays or things like that, I will go thematic for my layouts, but I find that I'm always drawn to these really cute and fun florals. How can I not be? Especially when you're looking at these, I'm loving this art. It's just really cute. It's also interesting to me how styles shift. You should absolutely take a look at your own style to see how they shift, because I know mine, I am much, much less likely to leave white space than I was in years past. I used to absolutely leave so much more white space than I do now because I love just adding all of these little elements and having so much fun things to look at. It feels so much more full and complete when I have added those. Now these are just some alphabet stickers for my stash. I'm just going to spell out pool time. As you can see, those are some pool pictures. Oh, summer, please come back. I miss you so much. And then after that, I'm just going to take my eraser and I'm going to erase the pencil lines from my journaling. And then that's it. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments box below and I will do my very best to get back to you. Thank you so much and make it a great day.